Hi, thank you for joining me here at Heather's Crochet Corner, and if you are new to this channel, welcome. What I'm going to do today in this video is do another product review of a different type of yarn spindle. We're going to assemble it. We're going to test the weight threshold to see how much weight it can actually, well, hold before it falls off from the magnet, which gives you an idea as to which types of skeins of yarn you can use with it. And yeah, we'll go from there. So this should be pretty quick and simple. So here's kind of the unboxing. Got a little memo of what it is and how to install it, but these should be pretty simple. So just set that aside. We've got some cute little stickers here, little dash hounds or Dachshunds, however you want to pronounce it. I say Dachshund, but I guess dash hound is also correct. Wiener dog, sausage dog, whatever you want to call them. Super cute though. So that's a nice touch. We have, what is this? It's a sheep with a scarf. Looks like it's a gauge reader of some sort. You've got your smaller numbers from 0 to 9. Goes, and then it continues around in this other circle to 17 to 19 is the biggest. I'm not really sure what gauge it's testing. I don't think it's crochet hooks, which was my first thought, because if it's a 5mm, there's no way a 5mm hook is going to go into there. It might be the yarn thickness. We'll have to test that at some point, so I'll come back to that. Let me set that aside. But this is the yarn spindle, or yarn spindle holder, whatever you want to call it. It's supposed to be a decorative, artistic version. It's supposed to look like the rings of a tree with the tree branch. So let's see, you've got 2 screws, 2 little Phillips head screws. You have a little Allen wrench with little Phillips head screwdriver end on it. It's pretty common. So you take those out. Try not to lose those. Take everything out. So this is going to be your base. You can push this aside here. That's your base. We've got the arm, which I imagine would probably go on like that. And then, let's see if we can get this out. This will be the bottom of the spindle. And of course the magnet on the other end here. See? So that seems decent. Well, ooh, it's gonna, yeah, that should, I am predicting that this is going to be a good, yeah, that's going to be good. It doesn't feel weak at all. It's got some nice resistance there. So I think I got all the pieces out. We'll keep the stickers aside. I'm going to just toss the box off camera. Don't need that. Stickers there. There don't appear to be any directions, but it looks pretty self-explanatory. Having put a few of these together in the past, should be pretty simple if I had to guess. There's a nice recessed place here for the head of the screw. That's a bonus. See, because last time, if you go back to the last video that we've done, they weren't recessed on the bottom, so they would actually scrape your tabletop. This is nice. So bonus for that. And let's see, this is going to go to the bottom here. It's already pre-screwed. And what's nice is that there's metal in there. It's not just wood, so it's not just a drilled opening. I think that's kind of what the last one was a drilled opening. It made it really hard to kind of screw in. So just bear with me as I screw this base to the actual magnetic spindle. So far, so good. Okay, just nice and tight there. That's secure. And how does this look? Oh, okay, see, I'm glad I flipped it over. Here's the recessed piece for the screw head. See? Perfect. Now that's not going to scratch and scrape. And this is, yes, nice and smooth. Could be a little bit better there, but your yarn's not going to go in there, so it's not going to matter. Anyway, so screw goes in here. Place for your recessed head. Doesn't scratch your tabletop. And then it's notched, and you have another actual metal insert that's threaded already. So it's probably better to get it in place in the notch first. And I'm just going to just screw it in as far as I can by hand. And then I'll just do the rest with the little screwdriver there. Oops. Yeah, well, a little too tight. That's all right. Better be too tight, not tight enough. So yeah, the head of the screw is recessed, so it's not going to scrape and scratch the tabletop that it's sitting on. So there's your little tree base for your yarn spindle. You got the arm here, nice magnet that's seems to be strong and sort of inset of it. It's lightweight, and there we go. So we'll set that aside, set this aside, and seems to spin freely. Seems a bit of resistance, so it shouldn't buckle under some light weight. Now, speaking of weight, that's what we're going to test. And I'm going to go with the smallest weight that I've got, and I'll go up to the largest, and we'll just see. I've got a Mary Maxim. It's a chunky, so it's a 5 weight. But as far as physical weight, it's only 1 3/4 ounces. So I expect this isn't going to be a problem at all. I expect this to be nice and easy. And does it spin? Yes, it spins. It spins just fine. So that's fine. That off to the side. The next size up is my 24/7 cotton from Lion Brand. This is a 3.5 ounce. So we're going from 1 3/4 ounces to 3.5 ounces. I don't expect this to be a problem either. I think this will be perfectly fine. Spin it. No problem at all. So what I like about this particular product is the fact that it does have a bit of a spacing here. Like some of the other yarn folders that I have, it kind of comes in close to the spindle, so you can't quite get full-sized skeins on there without them sort of bumping into it and causing extra resistance that is just unnecessary. So that's also a bonus. See, this is my next weight up. So we went from a 3 ounce to a 5 ounce. And I don't expect this to be an issue either, but we won't know until we test it. So it fits on the spindle as far as like the actual length of the yarn. Fits on the spindle. That seems good. And it spins, so there's no issue with that size. So we'll go to the next size up. Let's see, next up we have loops and thread, and we were going from a 5 ounce to a 6.53. I don't expect issues with this. Nope, that seems good. Spins freely, so that's a bonus. As you can see, there's plenty of room from the actual spindle to the arm. So if you have like a chunkier kind of a cake, which I do have, it's coming up. Let's see, so that was a 6. Let's see, the next one I have here is Bernat Super Value. So we're going up to a 7. So 7 ounces is the weight, like the physical weight. And let's see, it does give me a cause for concern. As you can see, the spindle is a bit shorter than the actual length of this. But we'll see. We'll check it out. We'll see if we can get it on there anyway. Okay, so it's on. It's going to be squished down a bit here at the top. Goes on. Spin. Yes, it does. And it's not giving me any issue. It seems to be doing just fine. And there's plenty of room. So that's awesome. All right. So even though the actual length is longer than the spindle itself, it is doable. So that's definitely a bonus, because most of the most common sized, yarns are going to be of this or this. So anywhere between about 5 ounces and 7 ounces. That's kind of what you're getting locally at your retailers. Let's see. Now we have a Karen Cakes. This is 7.1, so just a little bit heavier. So obviously no problem. And look, it's got plenty of space. So it can hold up 7.1. I love it. All right. And for my biggest, we have the Fentex worsted. It's, you guys can see that, 14 ounces, also known as, or 400 grams. So however, whatever measurement makes sense to you. I've been saying ounces this whole time. So we went from 7 ounces, 7.1 ounces to 14 ounces. We've got double the weight from the last one. Well, we'll be able to squish that on. I'm not sure. We'll see. Taking any bets out there, folks? Can we get it on there? Is it going to hold up? I can see it. But is it going to... Oh. Well, I think that's kind of where we run into the problem. I think technically it will work. It's nice to know that it holds the weight, right? So that's good to know. But what you're going to come into having a problem with is the fact that it's too big, in the sense that you'd have to use more of it to make sure it's not having so much contact with the arm here, because it's not going to spin freely. And then you sort of risk. It's not bad. That's really impressive. I have to say that's impressive that it holds this much weight. It's not wanting to buckle. I think it is doable. I think if you were to use a good portion of it, you'd still be able to get it on the spindle. It just won't be so poofy at distance. So wouldn't you be able to use enough of the yarn to kind of squish it down so it's not making so much contact, it would spin freely and you'd be all right. But the fact that it holds up to this much is great. Most of them don't. So yeah, that's really awesome. As far as the quality, I think it's great. It's definitely a lot. It's gone through the final sanding phase, whereas you go back to my other video for the last spindle, that felt pretty rough. And this is very smooth. It feels like it's got a nice finish to it. Yeah, I'm really impressed. This is a great yarn spindle. So if you're looking for something that's a little decorative and something, because I haven't seen this style. I've seen just a traditional kind of just a standard arm and your standard spindle. This is, I think it's a very creative piece. I will definitely link the description for the sales page within the in the comments or somewhere on the screen. You'll see it, folks. You'll see it. But yeah, this is a Amazon Vine product. I received it for free as an Amazon Vine reviewer. And in return for picking out free items, I get to leave my review so that the general public can find out, some information about what they're searching for, quality. I think this is great. Definitely, I'm gonna say definitely a 5 out of 5 stars for sure. As I said, it's smooth everywhere. I like the fact that it's got recessed areas for the heads of the screws, so they're not going to catch or scrape and scuff the bottom, well, the top of my tabletop. So they're both recessed, nice and smooth as far as the sanding and finishing goes. It feels nice. It feels nicer than the last one that I had previously done a video for. You can hear that click. That's a good sign of a strong magnet, folks. So that's what you want to be looking for. I've tested a few other spindles, yarn spindles, and they couldn't even hold up to 3 ounces, which is a bit pathetic in my point of view, because most of us are using yarn that weighs more than 3 ounces. You know what I mean? So again, just to give you a reference, this is 3.5 ounces. It's slightly bigger than the like Lily and Cream like cotton yarn. So most of our skeins, yeah, you find these in the stores, and this is a common size. Again, your 5 ounce, very common size that you get, and you also see a lot of 7 ounces in the stores. So if they can hold up to 7 ounces, that's a bonus. But the fact that this goes above and beyond, and you can get a full carrot cake on there, that's 7.1, and there's still plenty of room to go, which means you can get a bigger carrot cake, like one of the anniversary cakes on there. The fact that that it can actually hold up to 14 ounces, that's amazing. So yeah, this is a great little product. I definitely highly recommend if you were looking for a yarn spindle for yourself, whether you knit or crochet. Absolutely. Now back to this. What do we think this is for? I'm thinking it might be for the gauge of your yarn. So all I have a bunch of 4s. I got a 5 here. Let's see if that theory works. Here's a 5. And it looks like it's both sided, so it doesn't matter which side you look from. So I'll try to get that through the hole there. 5. See if that. And that's kind of something that some manufacturers do, which is great that they give you little additional accessories, but when they don't tell you what it's for or explain what it is, if I was somebody completely new to crochet or knitting and somebody gifted this to me thinking, oh, they would love having a yarn spindle for their knitting or their crochet, yeah, that'd be a great gift. One, assuming I knew what it was for, but then you get this sort of unknown thing, and I wouldn't expect new crocheters or knitters to kind of know what this is. I mean, my first instinct was, oh, maybe it's for your hooks. Maybe it's to gauge. Sometimes you get these cheapy hooks that are plastic and they don't really have like a numerical or alphabetical rating or sizing on it. So you kind of left guessing. But I know the size of my 5mm hook, and that's definitely too small. So it's definitely not sizing your hooks. It's got to be the size. It's got to be gauging the size of your yarn. So if you had yarn, let's say you started using some, you took off the label, you forgot what you were using, you've had to put the work down for a few weeks or a few months. We've all done it. We've all got our works in progresses. I understand. It's just, I think that's what it is, because a chunky 5, it does fit through the 5, and I'm sure if I were to grab one of these, I think this one was loose a bit. This is a 4. I'm sure we can confirm if I stick it in the 4. That's kind of what that is. But again, having a little label to kind of let you know, yeah, that's what it is. It's basically just giving you an idea if you had, you know, some of us have, we're gifted yarn, right, folks? We're gifted yarn. A lot of us have grandparents or parents or family or friends that no longer knit or no longer crochet, or maybe they've passed on and they know another yarn fiber artist in the family. And so they gift you this yarn, which is lovely because who can say no to free yarn, right? Free yarn rocks. But if it comes already pre-balled because they've taken the label off and you have no idea what thickness it is, yeah, and that can be questionable. I understand that. But at least I guess having something like this helps to know whether you've got a 4 weight on your hands or a 5 weight, or if you've got a 3. I've never seen 2.5. I've seen 2. I know there's 1. I know there's 0. I know yarn typically goes from 0 to 7. If there are I think there are larger ones. I do have some. Yeah, I do. Yeah. Let me find that for you. Hang on one second. All right, so I'm back. Let me just get some of this out of the way. Just butterfingers today. I'm dropping everything. So here's a super chunky. This is a 6. I know for sure. I use this to make my husband's slippers. I use 2 strands of it. But as you can see, there's actually 3 strands of separate yarn to make up the size 6. Almost, yeah, I got it all. There we go. All 3 strands. So yeah, that's a 6. I guess it could be technically a 7, but it's definitely a 6 for sure. And then I've got some ridiculously fat yarn here. There's also a product review item. If I can find the end of it here, is obscene. Ridiculous. Where's the end of it? Just follow this end here would make the most sense, right? Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? It's like the yarn that never ends. Oh, finally. Okay. Sorry about that. But this is ridiculously thick. It was a novelty yarn. It came in a 4-pack of vacuum sealed. I've had this for a few months. It still stinks. And it came in all dirty and stained. So I don't recommend it. Don't recommend this. This, yes. This, no. But just to compare, here's a 6. Here's a Bernat blanket. It's a 6. Look at that. That's crazy. That's craziness. So this could fit into, I guess, 17. So yeah, that's how thick this is. So I guess we've determined the purpose for this is to check your yarn thickness, which can be handy. If you were gifted a bunch of yarn, like I said before, or you get some at a yard sale or a tag sale or whatever, or you buy some yarn at Walmart and someone's returned it because they didn't need it, or it comes through with the label broken and staff doesn't know what it is, so they mark it down for clearance, but you want it, but there's no information on it. So this would be handy to tell what thickness it is. So yes, this is what this kit comes with. Again, stickers, a tool to gauge the thickness of yarn in case you've got some unknown yarn lingering, And most importantly, we're all here for the review of the yarn spindle. Again, I'm going to say 5 out of 5 stars. It's beautifully made, beautifully crafted. It holds up to 14 ounces, which I believe is the heaviest yarn that I've got. Yeah, I would definitely recommend it. So check out the link to the sales page for Amazon if you're interested in this yarn spindle. And that's it for this video, folks. I thank you for joining me here. I will encourage you to ask any questions or leave comments on anything you've seen in this video or any other videos that I've done previously. So thanks for joining in, and we'll see you in the next video.